Calling Buzz Lightyear. Come in, Buzz Lightyear. This is Star Command. Buzz Lightyear, do you read me?
Buzz Lightyear responding. Read you loud and clear.
Buzz Lightyear, planet Earth needs your help.
On the way.
Buzz Lightyear, the world's greatest superhero, now the world's greatest toy. Buzz has it all. Locking wrist communicator.
Calling Buzz Lightyear.
Karate chop action.
Wow.
Pulsating laser light.
Total annihilation.
Multi-phase voice simulator.
In a secret mission in uncharted space.
And best of all, high-pressure space wings!
To infinity and beyond!
Not a flying toy.
Get your Buzz Lightyear action figure and save a galaxy near you! Buzz Lightyear!
Available at all Al's Toy Bound outlets in the Tri-County area.
Hello everyone, I'm CritterNutter. Since I was born in 1997, I've been around for nearly as long as the Toy Story franchise, so it's always been a part of my life. And I love it, but not so much because I like the movie itself, even though I do like the movie itself, but because of one specific character, Buzz Lightyear. As a kid, 3 of my favorite things ever were superheroes, outer space, and the color green. I really liked green. If you put those 3 things together, you get the Martian Manhunter and Buzz Lightyear. Growing up, my family didn't have a lot of money to throw at brand new toys, so whenever I went to the thrift store, I would search for any kind of Buzz Lightyear toy I could find. I once even found an original Think White Toys action figure that unfortunately I don't have anymore, but at least I have this one, and all of these ones. So naturally, when Pixar announced the movie Lightyear in 2020, it instantly became my most anticipated film for the last 2 years. The movie released in June 2022, and despite its flaws and poor box office performance and being far from the Buzz Lightyear movie that we were all hoping for, I like it. I mean, it has socks. How can I not love it? Beep boop, beep boop, beep boop, beep boop, beep. And of course, in the anticipation and aftermath of this movie, I've been thinking about other Buzz Lightyear media, specifically a cartoon series that I'm certain Disney wants everyone to forget ever existed, and video games. To clarify, not Toy Story games. A certain creator whom we'll call Andy Dude already covered that department recently. I'm looking at games that allow you to primarily play as our green space boy. Buzz Lightyear mission log, stardate 11/6/22. I have found and collected 6 samples within gaming history for retrospective examination. Toy Story 2 Buzz Lightyear to the Rescue is most likely the first thing you'll find when you search Buzz Lightyear video game. And for good reason. Because it's a good game that has aged surprisingly well for a 5th console-gen 3D collectathon action platformer. To beat this game, you must collect 40 out of 50 Pizza Planet tokens, which you earn by completing tasks and challenges with NPCs, exploring the levels, and fighting mini-bosses. And it has some pretty neat details, such as seeing Buzz's reflection in first-person mode and experiencing what people with glasses deal with every day. And if you exit a level right after getting a Pizza Planet token, Buzz will spread his wings and blast off! There are also special boss levels, including one with the evil Emperor Zurg, who I had a hard time with when I played this as a kid on PC, because like in the movie Lightyear, shooting him with Buzz's laser bounces right off. You have to get in close and hit Zurg with your wing attack, which actually isn't too difficult once you figure it out. You'd think that Zurg or Stinky Pete would be the sole final boss, but instead it's a boss rush of the mini-bosses from the last 3 levels, which is quite underwhelming. But other than that, there isn't really anything bad I can say about this game. It controls well, and overall it's not too hard, but not too easy either. I highly recommend it, and it's easily accessible being physically available on PC, N64, Dreamcast, and PlayStation, which is also available digitally on PS3, PS Vita, and even PS4 and PS5 via PS Plus Premium. Now I know what you're all thinking. If only we could play the Buzz Lightyear game that Rex was playing in the beginning of Toy Story 2. Well, as a matter of fact, you can. It's right here. In Toy Story 3, the game. They took a 3.5-minute movie scene and expanded it into a 30-plus minute interactive experience, and it's sick. With extra stuff thrown in to extend the length, such as platforming, puzzle solving, and fighting enemy waves, the attention to detail is impeccable when you compare it to the movie scene. From flying through the canyon, to shooting laser crystals, to jumping across the platform bridge, and of course capping the whole thing off with a fight against the evil Emperor Zurg. And unlike Rex, we have long arms that can press the fire button and jump at the same time. But despite Zurg being evil, he ascends into heaven when you defeat him. Toy Story 3 the game as a whole has a lot more to offer, and this level alone is worth the price of admission. Definitely worth playing, and you can get it on Xbox consoles for $10. And if you took my advice from earlier and got PS Plus Premium, you can also download it and play the PSP version of Toy Story 3, which has its own unique Buzz Lightyear minigames. On my birthday this year, my brother and I went to a game store and he found and bought for me this really neat Buzz Lightyear DSi silicone shell cover, which also advertises the Nintendo DS version of Toy Story 3, which of course also has its own Buzz minigames.
Enemies sighted!
Earlier, I mentioned that there was a Buzz Lightyear cartoon series, which was called Buzz Lightyear Star Command, the show about the real Buzz Lightyear before Lightyear came along.
So, who's the real Buzz?
I am!
I have an original DVD copy of the Buzz Lightyear Star Command movie, and it has all the original inserts, including a chapter guide, a Disney Magic Movie rewards card, which you could submit by mail for free movies back in the day, and we also have a coupon booklet which features an ad for the Buzz Lightyear Star Command game. The game is a 3D run and gun. You chase after a bad guy that you need to arrest at the end of the level. Along the way you can collect money and try to find every LGM, which of course stands for Loathsome Gawky Minion, and if you get to the end quickly enough, Mira will help and reduce part of the bad guy's health for you. You can also do two other kinds of missions in each level, one where you do a time trial, and the other has you run through and collect all of XR's dismembered limbs, which is kinda disturbing now that I say that out loud.
Buzz Lightyear to Star Command, come in, Star Command. Star Command, come in. Do you read me? Why don't they answer?
Sir, this is a Wendy's.
Throughout the 90s and early 2000s, Disney Interactive released a large amount of computer games based on popular Disney movies and shows of that time period, including several edutainment titles, one of them based on Buzz Lightyear Star Command. It's officially titled Disney Pixar Learning 2nd and 3rd Grade, but I'm personally calling it Buzz Lightyear 2nd and 3rd Grade because, like Buzz in Lightyear, I do things my way.
I don't remember eating that.
Patrick Warburton and Nicole Sullivan both reprised their roles as Buzz Lightyear and Mira Nova, and the game has FMV cutscenes, and because Buzz is rendered in his Toy Story model, Mira is given an official 3D model resembling what she would look like if she were in Toy Story herself, which is pretty cool, although she looks like if Lily Munster was a redhead. The story of the game has you chasing after Zurg for some unclear reason, but then again he's evil, so we don't really need an explanation. To figure out where he is, you visit 4 different places in which you play different types of mini arcade games. In the asteroid field, you need to gather an element called Trizillium to repair a damaged Star Command outpost. On this planet, you have to gently land on every landing platform, and in the stars you fight Zurg's enemy Starfleet in a slow auto-scrolling shoot-'em-up. In the Nebula, which I played the most as a kid, you race other spaceships, and throughout the race, this cocky dude will talk to you in this obnoxious voice.
Catch us if you want the shortcut! Woohoo! Hey, no fair! What can I say? You lost big time, Conehead!
I'm pretty sure he's voiced by Jason Marsden, who voiced Max in a Goofy movie, but apparently in the credits they left out the S in his last name, so here he's Jason Marden. You also get distress calls from citizens of the Galactic Alliance who had things stolen from them by Zurg, some of these things being eggs, tires, and kittens that actually look like squirrels with scuba gear. I didn't know Sandy Cheeks was a Disney character. But Critter, this is an edutainment game for 2nd and 3rd graders. We've seen the attainment part. Where's the edge? Well, as you can see here at the top of the screen, you have 4 different types of fuel. When you run low on at least one fuel, you'll need to send either Buzz or Mira below deck to make more. To make more fuel, you must complete these brain teasers by sliding these fuel blocks together, forming the correct answers for the teasers. This is pretty neat. You have math, spelling, color coordination, and word similarity matching. Once you have all the blocks in position, you walk over to this module and press the spacebar to convert the cubes into fuel. And be sure it's all correct or the ship won't let you.
I like what you did, but the head cheese here says you gotta use more blocks, okay?
The one major complaint I have about this whole fuel making process is that it is so much slower than it needs to be because you have to move your character on this grid one space at a time. They should have just let us click and drag the blocks. But it's all worth it because when you're all done and come back up to the bridge, you'll get these funny moments.
Wow. Can I make gas or what?
Perhaps you'd like to rephrase that? In case you were sleeping, I was below making fuel.
Now, Mira, you know a ranger never sleeps on the job.
It's hilarious. Check this out, when making some yellow fuel, you can see how easily I can spell out the word rat here, but I noticed that I had a lone letter F, so this kid's game let me spell out the word fart.
That's my partner! Can I make gas or what?
Also, every time you load up a save file, you get a cutscene of Buzz sleeping. As a kid, I didn't know how to progress the story. While recording this, I finally figured it out. Back then, I played the minigames until I ran out of fuel, and it would automatically boot me back to the ship telling me to make more. But after exiting out of a game before running out of any fuel, I finally got a cutscene that progressed the story. It was simple as that, and yet I couldn't figure that out as a kid. And no, guides for this game didn't exist when I was a kid. Whew, I could use a break. Let's have a snack. Disney Infinity, one of the game series that was a part of the infamous Toys to Life trend of the 2010s. But did you know that this game was originally going to be a Buzz Lightyear game? According to Wikipedia, Avalanche Software, the developer of the Toy Story 3 game, was planning to make a spiritual successor to Toy Story 3's Western-themed Toy Box mode, but would have been set at Star Command instead. The Disney Interactive president at the time wanted them to go bigger with the project, and it went from being Buzz Lightyear-centric to full-on all Disney IPs-centric. Disney Infinity was born. So while it didn't end up being set at Star Command, I'd like to think that Disney Infinity was technically named after Buzz Lightyear's iconic catchphrase.
To Disney Infinity and beyond!
The game requires the use of plastic figurines to be played. Some of the figures that you would use are these crystal playset figures, one of which is shaped like a spaceship and has the Star Command logo. This allows you to play Toy Story in space. Provided you have the figures for it, you can play as Buzz, Woody, or Jessie. You're placed on an alien planet and are tasked with helping the aliens out and building up the town. Pretty simple. After all, this is a game intended for young kids, but I actually found this world pretty fun to explore. I didn't spend too much time on this, but what I experienced was enjoyable. And if you're playing this with a younger sibling and get into an argument like,
I am Buzz Lightyear. I'm Buzz Lightyear.
Don't worry, because you can both be Buzz Lightyear in co-op, either with another standard figure or with the Infinite Crystal Edition figure, which gains experience faster and has heightened abilities. You can even use these Buzz and Zurg power discs, which give you a chance of bonus melee damage and invulnerability, and with these two put together, you can get the Space Ranger Elite bonus. Outside of the playset, you can do a solo mission with Buzz Lightyear, and I gotta say, every time I activate the jetpack, it just... In the Toy Box mode, you can use these vehicles, the Pizza Planet truck and the Astro Blaster's car from the Buzz Lightyear Astro Blasters Disneyland ride. That's a cool Easter egg. Disney Infinity is fun, but I can't recommend it to modern audiences because despite it being a kids game that's reliant on peripherals, it's expensive even if you buy the accessories used. I mean, it can cost you about $45 just to get the base Buzz Lightyear experience. Nowadays, this is the kind of thing that mainly appeals to someone who likes collecting toys. Oh, what kind of a person would do that?
Not a flying toy.
You know, I'm a little disappointed in the Lightyear Blu-ray case. I was hoping it would be green. So I got the green edition case from the Incredible Hulk Blu-ray, but it doesn't look good with this shade of green. Try an Xbox One case. Alright. Yeah, that looks pretty good, doesn't it? I can smell Buzz Lightyear in here. Minecraft Lightyear is a thing. This makes me both happy and sad. I'm happy that it exists, but I'm sad that it's Minecraft? If we were going to get a Lightyear movie game, I would have preferred a standalone original game, or maybe even a LEGO game like the LEGO Incredibles game. But this is interesting enough that I'll give it a shot. This is the first time I've ever played a Minecraft adventure mode, so I was a little surprised to see that I can't mine or craft anything. The best way that I can describe this is it's basically Doom for babies. 98% of the time you are fighting waves of enemies with a ranged weapon or a melee weapon like in Doom, and I say it's for babies because there is literally no penalty for dying. If you die, you instantly respawn near the arena and you just keep attacking your enemies until they're all dead and clear all 3 waves plus the boss. And for every arena that you clear, you're rewarded with a yellow container which gives you a green, blue, and red fuel cell, which more can be found hidden in the levels, and they increase your stats, which is kind of unnecessary since, again, there is no penalty for dying. Naturally, you follow the events of the movie, exploring these rather impressive looking environments, or flying a spaceship through space while avoiding asteroids and debris. There's a variety of skins to choose from, but I personally don't have much reason to use most of these. When you get to the final mission, here's where you unlock the jetpack, fight a bunch of enemies, and then fight the evil Emperor Zurg. When I initially tried playing this on Nintendo Switch, it would not work. In order to progress the level, you have to talk to the NPCs, but for some reason, they're not there. Don't get me wrong, I do like this game within a game. It's just that I would, again, prefer a dedicated original game. With this, I am left wanting so much more. Even a LEGO game would suffice. I mean, we did get Lightyear LEGO sets. And since I mentioned Doom earlier, I'd like to see a Doom mod with the Space Ranger suit. That would be hilariously cool. And while you're at it, make a Lightyear mod of Metroid Dread with Samus as Buzz and Ravenbeak as Zurg. Movie tie-in games have practically become extinct over the last few years, so I don't think a Lightyear game is likely to happen, but you never know what the future will bring. Please subscribe, like the video, and leave a comment down below, and I will try to bring more content to you for infinity and beyond. Okay, maybe not for quite that long, but still.